Today I'm going to be learning how to bake a pecan and burnt honey cake, brought to you by Benjamina from her cookbook, The New Way to Cake. The cake itself is basically a typical sponge cake with pecan nuts in it, and it's going to be layered with burnt honey frosting. I've started preheating my oven to 180 degrees. I've also got two cake tins here, about 6 inches. We're going to have 4 layers, so essentially with each cake, we're going to slice it into half and then layer them on top with our frosting in the middle. So we're going to kick off with our pecan nuts first by roasting them in a frying pan with 1 tablespoon of butter for roughly, I'll say maybe 4 minutes or so, until you start to get that rich, toasty, nutty smell from your nuts. So our pecan nuts, don't forget what type of nuts you're using. Our pecan nuts are all roasted. They smell lovely. That's cooling down in a bowl. In a separate bowl, I've sifted some flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder in here. The next stage is to go onto our stand mixer. What we're going to do is basically make the actual batter mix. So I've wrapped up my cakes here, wrapped up with cling film, which I'll be placing in the fridge. The idea is for them to firm up. Next thing I need to do is to heat up my honey. Essentially, I'm trying to caramelize it, almost like caramelizing sugar. Last leg, I put my icing in the fridge. It looked a bit too loose for my liking. I've had too many scenarios in the past where the icing has been too loose, maybe because of temperature of the room. I then put it on the cake, it melts away. It's like a whole faux pas. It's thickened a little bit, which is good. So I am quickly going to layer our cakes. I've basically sliced each cake in 2, as you can see. Don't judge me on my slicing, please. I'm really tired and hungry. Cake is out of the fridge now, and I'm just going to top it up with the last bit of icing. To be honest, I was a bit nervous about decorating because decorating is my weakest part when it comes to baking, but it wasn't bad, not too shabby. The key thing basically is taste, and that's what we're here for. I'm just going to go in, get a bit of the pecan. Yeah. It's sugar. It's going to taste good. So I don't think I've tasted a cake like this before because of the honey. Because we caramelized the honey in the pan to get that burnt flavor. It's different in a good way, by the way. If you can imagine caramel but with like a really thick honey essence. Do you know what? I'm gonna give you a rating. Out of 10, I would give this a baking wise a 7. It took me longer than expected. Taste wise, I'll give it a 7.7. It's not my favorite cake, but yeah, it tastes great. Thanks again for watching. Show some love, subscribe. Hope you have a good week.